everyone. I hope everyone is doing great and welcome to our podcast Work Harder. And today we will continue from our last episode, in which we talked about the book Managing in Turbulent Times. And this is the perfect book for the time we are living in and for the pandemic is going on. And really thanks to the author Peter for writing this amazing book. And if you really like this book, you can buy it online on Amazon. And today I'll share you a few parts from the books, and maybe I'll share some my opinion too. So today I will talk about managing for tomorrow from the book Managing in Turbulent Times. So here we go, guys. The fundamentals pertain to today's enterprise, but all institutions live and perform in two time periods, that of today and that of tomorrow. Tomorrow is being made today irrevocably in most cases. Managers therefore always have to be managed both today, the fundamentals, and tomorrow. In turbulent times, managers cannot assume that tomorrow will be an extension of today. On the contrary, they must manage for change alike as an opportunity and a threat. So, guys, this was the introduction of the second chapter of the book Managing for Tomorrow. And down below, there is a subheadings which is concentrating resources on results and slogging of yesterday, and the third is managing growth, which kind of interests me. So now I'm reading the managing growth. Every business needs to manage growth, and to do so, it needs a growth strategy. During the 1950s and 1960s, it was believed that everything has to grow and that there are no limits to growth. In the 70s, it became popular to believe that growth is over forever. Both beliefs are fallacious, you can say. Nothing can grow forever, let alone at an exponential rate. Yet, every 50 years or so since the early 80th century, the developed countries of the world economy have experienced a go decade, a decade during which growth was everything and everything was supposed to be growing forever. The first of these was around 1710 with the South Sea Bubble and John Law's Louisiana Scheme. The next was in the 1770s and 1780s. There was a go decade around 1830 and another one around 1870. The one around 1910 was aborted, at least in Europe, by World War One. In the United States, it continued until 1929, and then we had the 1960s and 1970s. Every one of these go periods were followed by a massive hangover during which everybody believed that growth had stopped for good, and it never did. And there was no reason to believe that, and it has stopped now. But in every such period, growth shifts to new foundations, and it then becomes important for a business to think through where the growth areas are for its specific strengths, and to shift its resources out of the areas in which results can no longer be achieved into those areas where the new opportunities can be found. In every such period, excellence speeds up, and in turbulent times, an organized logging of the past combined with a systematic concentration of resources are the first requirements of any growth policy. In every such period, it is important for a businesses, but also for a non-business public service institution, to decide just how much it has to grow so as not to become marginal in its market. For if one's market grows, one must grow with it. To be marginal means to become extinct. Charlemagne's policy offers a good example of what not to do around 1960 or so, and the Chrysler automobile company decided in effect not to grow. It did not have the resources to grow from within, and its growth would therefore have required a merger in all probability with a European company. Chrysler decided to remain conservative and to become a factor rather than a leader in the industry. This turned out to be a disastrous mistake. The automobile market grew fast, and by 1975, Chrysler had become marginal, and its very survival had become questionable, even with massive government help. In 1960, Volkswagen was a good deal weaker than Chrysler in all areas: financial, product, engineering, and marketing. But VW made the decision to grow with the market. It asked where are the growth markets and concentrated on four of them: continental Europe, Brazil, Mexico, and the United States. In those areas, it tried to attain leadership. Chrysler, by trying to become a worldwide, also only succeeded in become marginal. A marginal institution always goes down disproportionately and more whenever the economy goes down, and it comes up disproportionately less whenever the economy goes up. With every turn of the business cycle, it becomes weaker, and once a business has become a marginal, it is exceeding difficult to reverse this downward drift. In fact, it is almost impossible. The term marginal in this context is a matter of industry structure. It means something very different in hotels from what it means in the chemical industry. Industry structures also change, and 30 years ago, it was quite possible to be number two in the electrical apparatus industry within major national market, and Westinghouse in the United States and AEG in Germany then had a perfectly tenable position as number two producers within their markets. Today, one has to be among the small group of leaders on the world's market, maybe along among electrical industry executives. Sir Arnold Weinstock in the United Kingdom understand this, and the British General Electric Company, which he built up in the 60s and 70s, largely by merging a number of weak and marginal enterprises, and by ruthlessly dropping all areas in which the company could not obtain leadership, has become a viable business. The companies that were much larger and much stronger when he began, such as Westinghouse in the United States, have since drifted and become successively less profitable, less able to compete. A minimum amount of growth may thus be necessary to survival. It is always necessary if the market is growing or if the industry structure is changing. Business needs to distinguish between the wrong kind of growth and the right kind of growth, between muscle, fat, and cancer. The rules are simple. Any growth which within a short period of time results in an overall increase in the total productivities of the enterprise's resources and healthy growth, it should be fair and supported. But growth that results only in volume and does not within a fairly short period of time produce higher overall productivities in fat. A certain amount of fat may be needed, but few businesses suffer from too little fat. Any increase in volume that does not lead to higher overall productivity should be sweated off again. Finally, any increase in volume that leads to reduced productivities, except for the shortest of startup periods, is degenerative, if not precancerous. It should be eliminated by radical surgery fast. So guys, this was the one of the subtopic I was reading from the book Managing in Turbulent Time, and it was managing growth. And I think I get a little inspiration from this, and I also personally learned from a lot. And I hope the other who is starting their business and choosing the option for their future plans do know the history and do learn from the history. So the next subtopic is managing innovation and change, which is also seem very interesting, and I really want to read it out loud. And I think I should share it with you guys in our next episode. And this will be the long episode if I start reading it now. And it's really a long topic, and I think this will give me some ideas for my own business, and it will also give you some inspiration for your own. And thank you for listening. And I think we will continue adding few more episodes related to to this book. I will share the content from the book, and then after that we will talk about minimalism again. We will go back to that topic again after we finish discussing this book. And so you can come back and like and share. So guys, thank you for listening, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm telling you again and again, I really need subscriptions. And like and share. Thank you guys. Bye bye.